Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Kingdom of Poland with EU5 here. It is September of 1341, where we are building a gravel war road to Chistoyo, building a carpenter's guild in Krakow, which will take 207 days. Still improving opinion in Serdaz and Rawa, building the spy network in the Teutonic Order, and improving and annexing Serdaz as well. So I guess technically we don't potentially need to improve the relations with them in Serdaz as much as elsewhere because we're already annexing them. Currently making 9.5 or 9.52 ducats a month. We have 260.44 in the budget. We have a stability of 20, getting plus 0.12 a month, 1.214 million, getting 869, 83 crowd legitimacy, 13 prestige, 3.55 diplomat, 0 war exhaustion, and 263 manpower, plus 5 monthly from our one sergeantry building. We do have the Schlopstow insurgents and the Ryan Franconian Patriots as rebel movements, pops with needs, furniture, fish, rice, fruit, fine cloth, fur, sugar, saffron, and beeswax are all on the market. And then the fine cloth is missing a little bit of an input, just barely. So we are trying to build up our road to get closer to Poznan because one, that obviously increases our tax reach, our control, and helps our economy. But Poznan is one of our few cities or towns, right? It's not even a city. It's got 21,532 people in it. But you can see our control is only at 14%. Now our maximum control currently is at 14.83%, but it is changing. But you can just see the negative, you're right, the negative crowd power, monthly sailors, manpower, promotion speed, conversion speed, assimilation speed that low of control has. And also, when it comes to building guilds and city buildings, we certainly can build an awful lot in Krakow, and we are doing that. But we also want to make sure that we aren't putting just everything into our capital. After putting in some effort in communicating with his peers, the hard work of King Kazimierz the third PS has paid off for diplomatic standing has increased thanks to a silky tongue. Rural cloth makers, 29 months remaining. They have 270 out of 1,000 people. They're currently producing 1.13 cloth. So I've been trying to play like as other countries, there may be a secondary save or even a third save because I'm loving the game and I want to get more and more into it. Bulgaria might come in, Denmark, potentially Portugal. I don't like play Lithuania as well, although of course the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth was a very real thing. But like in Eisenhower, I think that's a means it's a fort. No, no forts. Could be a city, right? So we did try here, Lechia, who we annexed in the last episode, did figure out how it is you go about founding the town. So we lack the 351.68 ducats to create a town. So that would obviously be a large. What are they building? They are building a Krakow Mark. We're building a what? Sergeantry. Okay. We know about the expiry truces. Once we get to January, our eldest daughter will come of age and we will be able to hopefully get a royal marriage for her. You see here in our capital of Krakow, we have 46,903 people. Population growth of 0.28%. Migration attractions 0.3. And the maximum capacity we have is 563,000. So we're, nowhere close to having to worry about that. We do have the Polish maszynstwo, the burgers, are a little bit unhappy with us. So let's go in here. Let's see if we can maybe change some of that. They could use another estate privilege. Now they currently have building rights, land commerce, urban development grants, Polish merchant seal, Novi 40, which is derived from the original set of privileges given to the city of Edinburgh. This legal framework has to go to encompass Western customs of the planet as well as sort of criminal and civil laws, but it's spread beyond the core German lands. And then, of course, we did give them the ability to build roads. We cannot add any more governmental reforms. Uh, per task, our Commodore states is greater than or equal to 60% satisfaction. Granted privilege to bribe the estate or lower taxes. You can see here the crown has 16% power, the nobles have 54%, the priests 16.5%, the burghers 4.7%, and the peasants 8.4%. Glory for the PS. Scholars have discovered ancient documents tracing the heritage of the PS dynasty back to Julius Caesar himself. Must be used to our advantage. We can gain 5 legitimacy or 10 prestige. Publish the knowledge abroad. We will gain the prestige because we only had, well, now we're getting losing negative 0.06. Because apparently doing that means that our prestige is too high. I know about the truces. We do have the unpressed Casus Belli against Gloco until February 1st, 1345. What are we currently researching? Peasant connections, cost of purchasing food, negative 10%. Master Masons, okay, that would actually be nice. Negative 5, plus 5% on the construction speed, maximum RGO size, and rural plus 10%. Expanded archives, diplomatic capacity, monthly diplomats. Okay. We are down to 8.79 ducats a month. A little bit disappointing there, but if we take a look at our economy, we're the 36th ranked country in the world. We were 44th at the start of the game, so I guess technically we've done a little bit right. We're only spending 2.49 on forts. We don't have a lot of forts. We're not taxing any of our estates. Trade income's only 0.83, diplomacy 0.296, minting's at 0.87. We can trade more. So I did turn off the auto the automation for the trade. Currently, we are exporting silver and dyes, and we are bringing in marble, fish, saffron, and fine cloth. Although saffron and fine cloth are not giving us anything, so we will get rid of both of those trades. I don't want to trade for just that little. What else do we need? Imports for profit. Okay, not enough gold in the Praha market. Okay, okay. Um, okay, here we go. Elizabeth at Piast. Oh, we have reached the age of Renaissance as well. Elizabeth P.S. has reached the age of 60 and she's our ruler's daughter and courtier of the Kingdom of Poland. We are throwing her a party and that she can get to work. The dawning of the age of Renaissance, a new era of knowledge, arts, and progress is emerging due to growing interactions and institutions in the medieval societies affected by Pax Mongolica, the Islamic Golden Age of the European Renaissance. So we get to choose what do we want our focus to be in. We can choose, if we choose the administrative focus, thirst for knowledge, empiricism, court accounting, debt and loads, benefits for mercenaries, mercenary recruitment, local infrastructure, church attendance, duty, deist vote, anti-piracy leagues. If we go for diplomacy, integrated elites, martial lords, claim fabrication, shrewd commerce, merchant traditions, privateers, experienced diplomats, benign diplomats, tribute system, and pressuring diplomacy. If we go for a military focus, we'd have tolerance, ideas, glorious arms, battlefield commissions, finest of forces, designated instruction, or open levy standards, and force service, naval glory, boarding party, and marine regiments. Since I think we're going to be going for a little bit of a, I don't know if I want to say defender of the faith playthrough with Poland, but um, I do like the ideas of court accounting, local infrastructure, church attendance, duty sounds interesting. So I think we'll go for administrative focus. That'd be a strong government. So Elizabeth P.S. is unmarried. Let's take a look at her before we go down that route, though. She is a 60 in administrative, 55 in diplomacy, and 54 in martial. We could have her marry a local noble, grant cabinet right, which will cost 20 legitimacy until her death. We could arrange a royal marriage, or we could have her take the vows. Our Duchy would still gains 5% estate satisfaction, change societal values by 5 towards spiritualist, purely 5.3 towards spiritualist, and changing 0.27. Uh, who do we have available potentially? Duchy of Ansbach, Duchy of Athens, Kingdom of Bohemia. I want to open the character menu. Jan Jendrich. Well, take a look at him. Can't open the character menu for some reason. Outdated text. The Ditchuet are held claiming that in accordance with our censorship laws, we should remove all outdated religious texts that are in circulation. Recently has found that decades of small tweaks and deviations in newer versions of our holy text have led to a divide between those who preach the old world and the new word. This drift is minimal, but the very idea of such texts deviating from one another is revolting to the Dutch Winstow. As such, they've asked us to purge all the older copies, which could lead to instability on account of having to destroy the old and relish copies of local temples. We lose 2.5 stability, but they gain 5% state satisfaction. We gain 2.5 stability, and they lose 5% state satisfaction. Um, we're only at 20 stability. I think we're gonna keep, yeah, we're gonna keep the old books to phase out naturally. So the Kingdom of Bohemia, King John the Blind, um, is his second son. Now, I will also say, with our truce about to expire with Bohemia, marrying into the Bohemian royal family probably is a good idea. And he is 19. He's a 32, 49, and 57. I don't know what this 2 means. It's not really telling me. Second in line, maybe? This will get us 4.67 prestige. They gain 6.6. Our proposal to marry Elizabeth of PS with Jan Yidrich Lusabursko was accepted by Bohemia. They are now legally married, and this will hopefully benefit both of our nations immensely. Well, she's still in Krakow, and he is also in Krakow. There are no armies to command. Okay, that's right. We were going to look into by balance, right? Fruit is the big one. Fish, jewelry, we're actually even on. Interesting, really. Wheat. Would not have expected us to be down on wheat, but okay. Hopefully the furniture will get a little bit better, but fish and fruit. We have 1.94 trade capacity out of that we are using. So we could go all the way up there to 1.07 fish from Stockholm in Sweden. And we know about that. We have begun trading fish from Stockholm market to the Krakow market. There are ducat signs in our eyes. So we have used up all of our trading capacity. So we are definitely going to want to try to improve on that area, moving forward. And Chestoya, the road is almost built. Right, so if we look at our roads, you can see we do have a little bit of a road network here. We have 85 days remaining of the Carpenters Guild. We are a little over the year away, sorry, from the expiration of the truces. We are 100 out of 160 on the annexation of Sernaz. My character himself is now just 31 years old. Again, our wife did die, unfortunately, in the last episode. Crown Prince Władysław is 2. He was born on the 1st of June, so he's almost 3, and he has a brother, Simowit. Now she's a 60, a 54, and a 55, and a 54. Her spouse is a 32, 49, and 57. So he's not really good at anything. And I guess because he's the second son, that's why he came to Poland, right? I would have thought potentially they stayed in Bohemia, right? Since it's not a matrilineal marriage, etc. But I'm happy for that. So we did make our first manual trade. Um, so you can see our trading comes up to 1.21 now, which is not bad. What is this? Carpenter's Guild +1. We have 11 burgers buildings in Krakow, none foreign. Why are we building a weaponsmith? Who's building a weaponsmith? We have 620 burgers available in Krakow, buildings in Q400, and we're getting promotion +19. I don't remember saying we were building a weaponsmith, but okay. We are losing 41.12 food, though. This is a big problem. Um, we have lead, clay, horses. Wait, where is our? All right, so it's these four. So there is not any real food that is being grown in there. And of course, it being the winter time, that doesn't help, right? So definitely trying to improve our market access and our market power will help in terms of our ability to, trade either export or import. I really don't remember. Okay, so the estate is building one. What estate? They are the ones building the weaponsmith. That makes sense. I'm not thrilled that they're building it. Don't get that's not what I meant. I made it made sense in terms of that's why it was being built. So do these grayed out areas already have roads then? Not entirely sure. You can see we only have 4% control here. Right, if we constructed a gravel road here, constructing a gravel road with the following effects: capital distance cost of 20 instead of 40, movement cost negative 45, market access. Okay, our Crown Prince Władysław Piast, heir to Poland. Hey! And Ironclaw gained the gallant trait. Military ability, increased trade education, plus 0.33 in diplomatic. Despite being a child, this is the epitome of chivalry, brave, stylish, polite, and attentive. They will surely be deserving of many poems and stories once they grow up. Great. This will cost what, 68? Okay. Heir can have better education. Um, he is gallant and he is a balanced education. Well, we have decided to give Crown Prince Władysław Piast military education, projecting military strength as the backbone of our nation. A focus on military matters and the study of the nature of wars, management of armed forces are pivotal for educational purposes. Agreed. I am mourning. I am blocked until April the 1st, 1343 from remarrying. I don't think I am going to remarry it anyways. Right? I mean, what is a weaponsmith? Wait, we're building a weaponry? It gives us weaponsmith, market village, sturdy grains, fiber crops, iron. Uh, what is this? This is stone. We have a lot of clay. We have a crap ton of lead. We have a lot of aluminum. We have a good amount of iron. Silver, not iron. What's this? Saltpeter. Okay, weapons, right? We have 4.55 each. Where's the iron? Oh, there it is. We have 20.08 and we need 4.52. So we don't have any real need there. Hopefully this will continue to grow and that will give us the ability to do better. Beeswax we still miss. Fish we're still low. Fruit, furniture is getting better. All right, so if we wanted to, let's go to buildings. Right, so let's say we wanted to build a I don't know. Say we wanted to build another Carpenter's Guild, right? Posit, Krakow, or Plock, which we don't really control yet. And see, Posit's not going to make a lot because we have very little control, right? We have such little control there. Wolgast is at war with Stettin, which, I would have kind of expected as well. And if I was playing as them, I probably would have done the same. The institution of professional armies. Armies have existed since war was invented. Many thousands of years ago, however, their form has changed over the centuries, and different types of recruitment and organizations have developed in different cultures and periods. In the late Middle Ages, armies in a wide range of societies relied on levies based on the structures of feudal society, with knights and footmen forming a corps that was levied seasonally. In some regions, however, states were powerful enough to finance standing armies with professional soldiers who would be available for duty throughout the year. This system was also developed in Europe after the outbreak of the Hundred Years' War, being one of the main changes that promoted the military revolution in the early modern age. Increasing the size and quality of professional armies while finding a new source of revenue to finance them soon became one of the main challenges for rulers around the world. So Scotland's civil war looks like it's been ended. And since we are roughly now a year away from our truce's ending, we have 2,583 regulars that we can call on. Okay, we get another event. Invite German settlers. Due to plague and war, our country is mostly depopulated, and a small number of peasants are spread very thin over vast territories, making activities that require huge amounts of workers, like reaping the harvest or clearing new lands, very difficult to accomplish. We can invite new settlers and artisans from the German lands to come and create new towns that are holdings by providing them with help and special privileges like the right to be ruled by their own laws and lower taxes. So this is the second time we've had that event. We can welcome them. We lose 42.64 ducats. 473 Eastphalian pops will migrate each month from Alfred to Pilsno for the next 48 months. Help them settle directly. We can lose 106.62. We can lose 12 stability. I don't want to lose 12 stability. Where is Pilsno? Oh, there. Pilsno. And they produce wool. So we lose 42 ducats and 473 Eastphalian pops will migrate each month from Alfield to Pilsno. Lunenburg gets the event migration to Pilsno. You can see 68, a little under 7,000 people there who are Polish. They're all Polish. So what we're going to do is we have 13,000 levies. We don't want to do that. We can recruit regulars. We have camp followers, armed horsemen, or armored horsemen, archers, and then footmen. Camp followers, 33.5 ducats, 63.3 for armored horsemen, 62.68 for just regular horsemen. Archers 3903 and then footmen 39.64. It's 100 each for the infantry, 50 each for camp followers and all the horsemen. All right, so the backbone of every army, footmen comprise the majority of our marching troops eager to stay in the front line and defend our home from prospecting invaders. Monthly maintenance. 0.05 weaponry, 0.03 leather, a zero point 0.2 weapon, 0.05 leather, and 0.1 tools. Logistics are zero point 0.1 food storage, 2.5 movement, 0.1 food consumption at 100% unit weight. What is frontage combat initiative? We have 100% secure flanks. All right. So I think we'll wait because I'm trying to stay around 300 ducats. I don't know why that's the number I want to stay around, but it is. Well, I think part of it is because it's going to help us. Peasant connections have been researched. We now have peasant connections, which gives us the following benefit: cost of purchasing food, negative 10%. I think in some ways it's because I'm trying to, if I want to like build a new town up here, that'll cost around 300. Um, we'll go clearing of the terrain. We must tame the four reaches of our country to expand our economic capabilities. Not only will provide more space for our people, we can improve the contribution to our country. September of 1343, so about a year from now. And also to better the education cost, I think around 300. So, but we are going to start the process of recruiting a slightly more professional army. That's cool. That's so cool, right? You can see we have 473 peasants. God, this game is amazing. Like, and I'm sure I played it wrong, and I probably played it too slow to be really popular on YouTube, and I appreciate both of those things. But I'm just, man, this game's fun. I mean, so CK3, so are a lot of games, but this kind of hits everything that I look for in a game. It's got population, it's got trade, it's got diplomacy, obviously warfare. You know, you can build, you're building up the infrastructure of a country. You know, you have a dynasty, you have family members, you can edit their education. Like I said, it really is just about everything that I would want in a game, or especially a strategy game, maybe I should say. So in October, we are going to recruit our first regiment. Wait, what? The clergy is building this? Interesting. I don't know if I would have guessed that, but all right, we now have the ability to do this. We get 2,500 regulars. Cost of this went up. Interesting. Oh, because weaponry. What are camp followers? All right, let's build. There we go. We are building a regiment, people! Because we are going to declare war on the Teutonic Order, trying to get a little bit closer to the Baltic and get a coastline. Non-enforcement of ordinances, although King Casimir's the PS issues many ordinances, His Majesty is in practice almost powerless to enforce them. Instead, enforcement depends upon the local powers, regional select, and city governments that are not always as vigilant as we desire. Recently, it's come to our attention that our authorities in each city are being particularly reticent in enforcing the king's will. We lose 10 legitimacy, or we can increase the tips. We're going to increase the tips. Say, no, we are the king. You need to try to listen to what we say. It'll take 25 more days to get our footmen. It'll be our first ever standing army in the game. And then we can hire a general. Maybe, although I don't know this for certain, right? But maybe it'll be our daughter's husband. Though he was kind of trash, but at the same time, it gives him a post in the government, right? Because this is the time period where, family ties and aristocracy and all of that matters. So, I mean, it still matters today, don't get me wrong, but it mattered at a higher level back then. And I wish, like, what I really wish in some ways is that there's a really great modern day geopolitical simulator because that'd be a lot of fun. I mean, I know Eversim has one, and then I know there was World Warfare and Economics, and there's a few others out there, and they all have their positives, but they also have a lot of maybe less great characteristics of the games. So as we are into November, so again, less than a year before our truces expire, we're still missing workers. Now the weaponsmith is about 105 days away. Wait. That was 105 days away. That was definitely not 105 days away. But it's been built. We're 3 days away on our footmen. And we're going to have a tiny army. I mean, okay, we have the 30,000 levies. And we lack a commander. Ah, there we are. Look at our little dude. Look at our little dude. Ah, he's carrying an axe. Axemen. Yeah, that's cool. I'm sorry, but that's cool. We have no artillery bonus. Maintenance costs negative 0.42 ducats monthly. I don't want to create a new unit. I will create a first army commander. I could be the commander, but that seems kind of reckless. Um, Capitan Daniel said of the mirrors. Where? Oh, there he is. Jan Yendrich. Right, he's 20. And we now have a general. He's kind of a trash general, but he is a general. So we have a tiny army, or a tiny professional army, right? The Glass Guild is positive is unprofitable. We are going to try to improve our opinions with Bohemia. They already like us, so that actually was less difficult than what I thought it would be. And clearly we're not going to build too many regiments right now, simply because we don't have the money and for nor the manpower, frankly, right? We also don't have the manpower. Uh, so we may also be bringing Football Manager 26 onto the channel. I know I haven't quite decided on that one, but in looking this up, it looks like Kroluski is the name for royal in Polish. And then the Kro the Kroluski wrote Roscoe Polski. I butchered that, I'm sure. I'll try to figure out how to say it. Is the name That's the name for army. So it's the Royal Army of Poland. Okay, I thought we okay, that's right. That's right. What would okay, market warehouse trade advantage, trade capacity, the order. Okay, that doesn't do me a whole lot of good. What about a trade-off? We can't build one of those. Okay. What if we just built a market village? Sure. Okay, a marketplace. Burgers power plus 10% pop assimilation speed, trade advantage plus one, trade capacity plus one. And what does it need? It needs cloth, jewelry, paper, and beeswax. Okay, well, beeswax I think we're still low on, right? Yeah, a little bit. Um, Still really low on the furniture, unfortunately. Masonry we could improve on. Okay, we do have a tiny bit surplus now in weaponry. Hey, we have a tiny bit surplus there. Um, is this glass? We have enough of. Trying to find paper. That's cloth. Cloth is even. Masonry, we know. Is this paper? Paper is even. Okay. So before we do that, we probably want to improve cloth, beeswax, and cloth, paper, and beeswax. All right. So the Polish-Austrian Union. A union is the type of treaty that happens when two or more countries have come to the same ruler due to royal marriages. It functions like an offensive alliance in that they will come to each other's help automatically if they are attacked. The laws can be added to change how the union works. The most important member of the union is called the senior partner, while the rest of the countries are the junior partners. All right. All right. So let's see here. Okay, so first of all, let's look at control. Okay, so this is getting better. Okay, positive is getting a little bit better in terms of control. Is that a fort? No, it's just a, okay, so just the provincial capital. Okay. So Whelan has a control of 10. All right. We built a road, so there's already a road. Okay, so that obviously is not helping a ton. Um, all right, let's see where is our, let's see, right, tax base really just crack off. Our raw materials, right. We have a lot of wool, got more iron. Of course, this is the only place we have that has beeswax currently. Um, so now this will give us the second province that has beeswax. The institution has appeared in part of the Renaissance, starting down the 14th century. The wealthy and powerful of the Italian city-states have been patriotic, patronizing, sorry, not patronizing, patronizing artists and scholars willing to explore the old Roman and Greek societies of their forefathers. As the cultural movement in the Renaissance already encompasses most of the region, it has a profound impact on literature, art, philosophy, and music. Humanist scholars are also analyzing the society in which they live, comparing it to the ideals of the classical philosophers. Renaissance humanism has grown into a more mature movement, ready to permeate all aspects of society. A new ideal for rulers as well as those who are ruled is spreading as quickly as the early printers can distribute copies of these new ideas. A true Renaissance humanist is an expert in everything politics and philosophy to art, textual analysis, music, and architecture. The Renaissance is now ready to reshape the world to better fit its classical ideals. Okay, all right. So we're going to go up here to Simothi, who again, we know output per level is 1.20. We have 2000 out of 2000. Profit per level is 0.007. Presence available to promote is 8,017, 33.5. So we are going to build that because we are still short there. Now in Posen, we have Spinners Guilds, 400 out of 400, 13.97 production efficiency. Wool Spinners Guild income is plus 4.83, so the potential profit is 3.63. All right, producing a lot of wool and a cloth. So we are going to build, well, we have 198 burgers in Posen, and we would need 200, yep. And it's going to cost us 45.3. So we're building a wool guild in Posen because we have a lot of wool, right? Like we do have a lot of wool, and that could be something that we look at doing, right? And if we're going to build that marketplace, then we need to have better or more cloth. We need more beeswax, paper we're going to need. So all of that's going to become an issue. And truces are going to expire here pretty soon. So we are going to be able to fabricate a claim on the Teutonic Order. I cast this Belli, and then maybe in an episode or two, we'll actually declare war for the first time. I mean, we're only 6 years in. I know this is about 4 episodes, but 2 times speed is moving kind of slowly. I do apologize for that. But I like taking my time. To me, it's a more, how do I want to say it? Historically accurate representation of time passing. I know when it comes to YouTube and videos and everything, it doesn't make it as enjoyable or as impactful, and I apologize for that. And I understand why it doesn't get a ton of likes and views and comments on the videos because of it. It's that part. And also just my way of talking and the pauses and the audio. And I am trying to improve, like I said, order to do, headset and microphone, and hopefully that improves that aspect. But I do understand that it's not, hey, look, there's a war. Hey, look, we're being raided. Hey, look, we assassinated somebody. Hey, look, it's this. I get that, right? I get that. It's just, and time passes slowly, and not a lot happens all the time except for my rambling. Granted, that's very, very fair. It's just when I play a strategy game, I don't want to speed run through it and go at like 4 times speed, where sure, more happens, more things get built, more wars, more events happen in every episode. And I certainly understand that. I'm not arguing that. I'm not debating that. It's just for me personally, as I move through history, and the time period of history, I mean, it's more meaningful, I guess, in a way. I know that probably sounds dumb, but it is more meaningful because, to me anyway, because it's or respectful or I don't know, to the actual passage of time that happened in real life. Obviously, this is the game, you know, and it doesn't need to necessarily be that way. So September of this year, we will have the truces expire. We were ranked 35th. So again, we've got up a little bit, back up to 10.01 ducats a month. So since we actually have oh wait, that's right, we would need a paper, paper. Um, Probably would have to be in Krakow. And again, that's the major issue is the fact we have Plok, which we don't control. We have Poznan, and then we have Lechia. Now Lechia here actually is 19,000 people, negative 20%, but it does have 68% control. It is going down by zero point 0.5 though, most likely due to that control issue. 390 ducats to create a town. Okay, so if we went to posit, just out of curiosity here, because this is just a town, 1,560 to create a city. Okay. Krakow is probably a town, I would imagine. Or is it a city? Okay, it is a city. Um, Cannot upgrade from a city. Now, Warsaw, which is somewhere over here. There it is. Nope, it's just a plain. Okay, interesting. I would have thought that might have been a city as well. But I think that is where we're going to wrap up today's episode. Trying to be mindful of not going too long. I did enjoy it. Let's go down here very quickly to see where we're at in terms of our um, people and our migration. Right. Um, that's not accurate. Wait a minute. What happened to my people? They've all been assimilated into being Polish? Oh, there they are. 900, confused for a second. 924 peasants who are Eastphalian. Okay, okay. I was very confused for a moment. But thank you everybody for watching. Sorry for the freak out. I was just like, wait a second. I know it said we had people who were not Polish, but love you the game. Could play the game 24 hours a day. Really bad for my eyesight and my overall health and my job, but I could definitely pull that off. Thank you everybody for watching. Try to do better in the next episode. Take care and I hope you're all well.